Hey guys, so today I wanted to do a video talking about relationships and dating, and I asked on Twitter for some questions, so I thought I would go through the questions and give you guys my advice and feedback. And I've had questions why I've been doing kind of like talking advice videos lately, and I just really enjoy making them. I'm also going to keep doing some fashion and beauty kind of mixed in, but for right now this is just what I'm having fun with, kind of experimenting with, and I've loved the feedback that I've had from you guys. So thank you so much to everyone who's been so sweet and supportive about it. I really appreciate it. And I also think, relationships and dating aren't the most important thing in life, but you really can learn a lot about yourself and a lot about what you want from people or what you don't want from people from dating and just getting to know people. And I know with that there can come a lot of problems that come up, and sometimes it's easier to have advice from someone that maybe isn't necessarily like your best friend or someone that's directly involved. So I thought having advice from me, and I can give you guys great advice hopefully, would be kind of helpful and just kind of an unbiased opinion that maybe you can use and that maybe will help you out in your situations. So Erin first of all says, how do you turn a guy politely down? I think the number one thing that people do is just kind of act really unresponsive. So if you give a guy your number and then he's asking you to hang out and you don't want to, you just typically don't answer. And I honestly think that's kind of the easiest way, I suppose, but I personally think it's very mature and kind of stand up when someone is able to be upfront and honest with you. And I think you could even do it in a way of saying, hey, you seem like a cool guy, but right now I'm really focusing on my schoolwork and my job and, my friends and stuff, and I don't really have time to date right now, but maybe, sometime in the future we could hang out. I think that would be a very simple way to put him down, and it's not necessarily saying there's anything wrong with him. It's kind of like that classic, it's not you, it's me problem, and I think ultimately that kind of just saves someone's feelings, but also lets them know that right now is not the time for you to try to be interested in them. M says, what are your thoughts on being friends with an ex? Obviously, if they were a big part of your life, they probably were a really close friend to you or even your best friend, and you've probably shared a lot of memories together and stuff, but I also know that it can be very difficult because a lot of times when people break up, one person still kind of has feelings, and I think being friends with them and hearing about their daily life and who they're dating now and all that kind of stuff can make it harder and can kind of get you into that phase of wanting to be back with them or casually hooking up with them or whatever, but not dating. So I think it really just depends on the person and how you guys broke up and why you broke up. If you broke up for a reason that wasn't anything terrible and you think you would like to be friends with them, definitely reach out. I think it's kind of hard to decide if you want to do that or not, and sometimes the other person might be scared and might be completely willing to be a good friend to you, but they want you to kind of be the one to reach out and make that amends. And honestly, if the ex denies your request to be friends, and just kind of move on and think, if they're not able to see that you're still a good person and you're not still, someone they want in their life at that time, give them some time and just kind of realize you tried, you did the best thing you could, and that's kind of their loss. Kelsey says, what do you do if you're scared to be in a committed relationship, whether it's because of past issues or nervousness? I think that's an interesting question. I think if you're scared because you're not sure if you're ready or you're not sure if you want to only be exclusive with that person, that's different. But I think if you're kind of you had been hurt in the past and you're kind of just afraid of getting into a relationship with a guy because you don't want to be hurt, that's a completely different thing. And honestly, that's something that just has to come with from within. There's really no set terms of advice in that because each situation is different. So if you really feel like the person that you're interested in wants you to be committed to them and you really think it would be something good in the long run, you're just scared, I think you should probably just go for it and just see how it turns out. I think something really interesting is every heartbreak or bad experience you go through, in the moment it's so hard and it's so difficult, but I promise you 100% it really does shape you as a person, and I think it makes you so much stronger and so much more able to be loving and to be open and honest with yourself and with someone else. So just kind of try to have the mindset of, it might not work out, but it might work out. And I think if it's someone important to you or someone you really like or care about, I think that glimmer of hope should be enough to hopefully help you become committed. Ellie said, what do you think is the best age to get engaged? Would your parents freak out if you were to get engaged now? So I think I'm a little young to get engaged. I think for me, I've always thought a lot about marriage and getting engaged, and I think I would definitely want to marry someone who is my best friend and someone that, they say looks fade and money fades and all that kind of stuff, and at the end of the day, if you aren't completely just in love with the person for not only physically attracted to them, but also their minds and their humor and how they make you feel. And I really, like I said, I would want to find someone that is my best friend, and I think at that point, then kind of engagement, I guess. I don't think there's any like set age. I think it all depends on finding the right person and when you do and kind of where you are in life when that happens. But I think if I got engaged right now, I would definitely be a bit young. Avery says, what's the weirdest thing a guy has done when you first met them? First thing I can think of off like the top of my head was like one time I met this guy and we were out, and like within that hour he like went, I guess, on my Instagram and had followed one of my friends, and then my friend like asked me like, oh, I thought this was the guy you're going out with, like he's liking all my photos. And it was like while we were on the date, so I think that was kind of weird because like he was out with me and he had never met my friend, but he was just like looking through Instagram, found her and started liking all of her pictures while we were out at dinner. And that was probably the weirdest thing that someone has ever done when I met him, only because, you know, he could have waited until he got home to start doing that, but that was probably the weirdest thing. So Me says, how do you know if a boy likes you? This is a very difficult question. I think when you're younger, obviously it's someone that you know, pays a lot of attention to you, is trying to be very nice to you. I know when you're like really young, sometimes like in middle school, boys like tease you or like joke around with you. But I've kind of found like as you get older, at least for me personally, I've kind of decided that if I don't know if someone likes me, like I can't tell, like they're not being upfront enough for me to know, it's kind of not worth my time anymore. And I think that's a really interesting way to look at it, because for a while I was really into, oh, guys play games, or scared, you know, whatever. But I kind of think just saving yourself kind of the time and like the whole anguish, I guess, of like figuring out if a guy likes you. If he's not making effort to see you, he's not making an effort to go out of his way to be nice or to even just be polite and like a gentleman to you, it's kind of not worth your time. And I don't think you should spend any more time wondering if he likes you or, you know, if he's going to like you, because there are other guys out there that will, and that you won't have to question on if they like you or not. Elizabeth says, any advice on dating in college? This could be a whole nother video. I think it's very interesting, just the college dynamic of dating. People are a lot quicker to just hook up, or, you know, have a one-night stand and hook up and never talk to the person again. I think, at least what I've seen, a lot of people when they first get into college, they want to be single because they're meeting a ton of people, and that makes total sense to me, because you are just, you know, you're living on your own, you're in a different element than when you were living with your parents, and it is fun to meet a ton of people that are all your age and that are all just, you know, wanting to have fun and have a good time. So I think dating in college is kind of difficult. I think definitely as you get older, people maybe start to get kind of settled where they maybe are looking for a serious relationship. But what I've kind of seen is a lot of guys don't really want to be tied down to one girl just because they feel like, you know, there's a lot of girls that they could hang out with. And I think even being a girl, it's not necessarily like, oh, just no guy wants a girlfriend in college. It also could be you don't want a boyfriend in college because you're happy spending time with your friends and being able to do things on your own time, and of course meet a bunch of different guys. Okay, so this comes from Jacob. He says, Dear Megan, I need advice about boys in a relationship. What do I do if a guy is cheating on his girlfriend with your best friend? My best friend found out that this guy has a girlfriend from his best friend. However, he explained to her that he knows it's wrong and he really likes her and he wants to be with her, and he told her that after prom he's going to break up with his girlfriend and be with her. She feels kind of bad, but she also feels confused and let on. What should she do? Prom is this weekend and she needs help. What should she do about his girlfriend? Oh my gosh, this is such a interesting question, because I've dealt with something like this. And first of all, the biggest thing is, you know, it's hard that you're involved, because if you're not the person that is being cheated on, or the one that you're cheating with someone, I guess, it's hard because you kind of don't have much power in the situation. I think the only thing you can do is be supportive and listen to your friend kind of vent about the situation, because that is kind of a really rough situation. Number one, you know, this guy is giving her attention, making her feel like he wants to be with her, but he's not ending it with his girlfriend. He's saying he can't end it with his girlfriend yet. And I think, you know, people do meet and stuff happens, and sometimes, you know, people get into a circumstance where they want to be with someone else but they're already tied down, and, you know, stuff happens. But for the most part, I just kind of think a good thing would be for your friend to cut the guy off, to just say, look, I don't feel comfortable doing this to another girl. I'm going to wait until you guys break up, and if you do, maybe we can talk and we can hang out and see where it goes from there, but right now I don't feel comfortable being involved. And that's what I would hope a girl would do for me. Even if she didn't know me, just if she was a girl and she had a heart and she understood, even if she had never been cheated on, but she understood at least how it feels to be cheated on and that betrayal and just that hurt, I would hope another girl would kind of side with me and decide, look, if this guy is, first of all, he's lying to this other girl, he's not even breaking it off with her yet, and he's still leading me on, I'm going to choose the girl over this guy, and I'm going to do the right thing and the thing that I would hope someone would do for me. And I think, unfortunately, it's a really common situation, and there is a saying that says if he cheats with you, he'll cheat on you, and I think, you know, for him to admit that he knows it's wrong, it's a good step, but still, he's not doing the proper things to, you know, end his relationship and take care of it and tell his girlfriend while he's talking to another girl. So that's kind of, I guess, my advice on that. But again, that's a huge topic. I could do a video all about cheating because I think cheating happens so much, there's so much temptation, and I think even with like having social media and texting and Snapchat and all this kind of stuff, it's a lot easier to cheat in this day and age and to kind of get away with it. And it really can, I think, change a person and like you really break your heart. So you just want to be careful if you're involved with that, or if you have a friend that's involved with that and doesn't know what to do. So those are all the questions I'm going to answer for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.